This evening, let's talk about bill filing and the pathway that a bill will take, and specifically, Finance Ways and Means Committee process for funding referred bills. So with that, in the first block, if you're following along, you get a bill referred to Finance. And in that, the bill sponsor puts the bill on notice with Finance. The bill is scheduled for Finance Ways and Means Subcommittee meeting. So by the time that the subcommittee meets, there will be a discussion. And the discussion is, if the bill, by the time it hits the Finance Committee, the discussion has already been made that chances are it's a good bill, and we're trying to secure funding for passage of the bill. So here's what the steps are. There's 5 steps that you could look at. And it could be the administrative bill. The funding is included in the governor's budget. Okay. So with that, then the committee will say, okay, we'll pass this because it's going to be financed through the governor's budget. You can get a funding letter where the bill sponsors receive funding letter from the Commissioner of F&A, Constitutional Officers, or the AOC. Once again, the committee will consider the bill for passage. Or there's a funding mechanism. The bill provides funding mechanisms, tax, fee, or through repeal of other laws. So with that, you could actually take and go in front of Finance and have a bill that will create an income source for the state, where you pass another bill and it's taking money away from the state. And by having some coming in and some going out, we are still able to balance the budget. Now keep in mind, per the Tennessee Constitution, really the only reason that we all convene in Nashville come January is to balance the state's budget, and then we're free to go. But however, there's things that come up that we need to file bills to get rid of laws, or file bills to create laws to put them back in there. Okay, so we just discussed the funding mechanism. Now with that, a bill could be not significant, and so it has a not significant amendment, that the bill sponsor amends the bill to create fiscal effect of not significant. It's interesting, the legislative process this year, this is 2019, it's the 111th General Assembly, and here we are in Nashville, Tennessee, and the discussion came, if a bill hits the Finance Committee, or no, let me back up. If you file a bill and it goes through fiscal review and it comes back as not significant, it will not go to the Finance Ways and Means Committee. The chairman of Finance Ways and Means Subcommittee will put that legislative piece, that bill, behind the budget. And there will be a lot of behind the budget bills that will accumulate. Bill is deferred to behind the budget consideration of bills delayed until funding is secure. The bill sponsor works to secure the funding. Now, the bill sponsor can still seek funding letter from previously stated sources. At that time, the committee will consider the bill for passage. Or the bill sponsor can still amend the bill to create fiscal effect of not significance. In other words, it's when you're looking at a bill, what caused that bill to have a fiscal note? Why is it costing the state? And of course, what we're talking about, if it's a good bill, a good sound bill, which would be great for all Tennesseans, we got to have that conversation, okay? So with that, if there's a minor error in it, maybe something that is really not required for passage of this bill, which will drop the fiscal note to 0, then once again, we're going to talk about passage on the House floor. Or the funding source is not found. In other words, the bill dies for lack of funding. So when we go with the governor, his staff, the different departments, we will take and pass the state's budget. Now with that, we're going to add money to the rainy day fund. What we will do is also talk about, let's categorize and look at all of these bills behind the budget, pick out, prioritize them. Do we have enough funding to actually fund the top 10, the top 20? And keep in mind, folks, it's as we collect sales, use tax, business taxes, all the ways that we collect tax across the state, we try to make it all fit into a slot for the budgeting for the next fiscal year. And then if there's anything left over or assumed to be left over, then we can take and name that dollar and where it's going. But then we can come back the next year and find out that we misspent. In other words, we passed a bill or some time in the past, and with that, there was a recent bill that I was talking about for education. Administrative cost is $350,000. If through the Department of Education we find out that we no longer need those services in that Department of Education, that $350,000 will go back to the Department of Education, and let's see if we can be more responsible with that money and find a different slot for it to go in. But the big thing my opinion, is reducing regulation and taxation across the state of Tennessee. We are very business friendly. We're low debt. We have no state income tax. Folks here in Nashville, Tennessee, they say that there's a population that it grows by 100 people every day in Nashville, just to show you how fast we're growing. Then if we want to take and talk about different communities, it's like in my district is part of Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville is growing at leaps and bounds. It's the 5th largest city in the state of Tennessee, as well as making Montgomery County grow. With all of the industry coming to the industrial park, small business owners, the military, students at Austin Peay State University, we're in expansion mode, and with that is trying to provide proper infrastructure, getting home safe, living in safe neighborhoods, all of that. So we continue to have that discussion here in Nashville as well, and not only for Montgomery County. You know, it's amazing across the state, the businesses that are coming. You know, Tennessee's open for business. Come on, we'll take you. The firearms industry, Beretta, Volkswagen in Chattanooga, Chevrolet down at Spring Hill, Hankook Tire up in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area, LG Appliances, washers, dryers coming to Clarksville. That's all a growing business. So it's pretty amazing what's taking place in Tennessee. So with that, this is going to be quite the demanding. The Finance Ways and Means Committee is going to be a demanding committee, but we've got to pay attention where your tax dollars, when we give them a name, we've got to make sure that we're doing the right thing for you, for our constituents in the state of Tennessee. Certainly, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll try to get back to you with answers to those questions. Certainly, I will continue my process of giving you information on the YouTube network as far as the legislative process. Certainly, if you have a question about a bill that we need to do a video like this for it, to do some explanation, if it's a good bill, bad bill, but I'll take the question and answers and see what we can do there. But there's a lot of things through the bill process, and I have an intention of doing another bill process video. So when you reach out to my office or to another state rep, senator with that, what do you need to be asking? What do you need to be doing to help support a bill? Or if it's a bad bill, how do you cordially, let's be kind when we reach out to our state legislators, both in the House and the Senate, and try to reason with them on why something is a good bill or a bad bill without the situation turning into an ugly situation. But you all have a good day, and check back often. We will continue rolling out these videos to better educate you on the political process of bills, passage of bills, and how we can make Tennessee even a greater place to live, work, and to raise a family. You all have a good night, and take care.